Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon's Demize here at PAX Unplugged. Today I'm here with Kyle Kinkade from Monacle, the makers of Weave.
Hello.
And so, could you give us a quick overview of what Weave is?
Sure. So one of the things that we wanted to do with Monacle Society was make tabletop games that use technology to make it very easy for people who've never played a tabletop game to jump right in and actually come into the tabletop. I guess community, really.
Yeah.
And Weave is our real first foray into that. The idea behind it is if you've never played a role-playing game before, you can create a character in 3 to 5 minutes. And even as a storyteller, you could be telling a story within the first 10.
That is an impressive claim, and sounds great.
It's not just a claim.
Yeah.
We released Weave in 2017.
Yeah.
At the very first PAX Unplugged.
Okay.
For the past 2 years, we've seen over. I'm thinking around closer to 12 to 15,000 stories told.
Dang,
Yeah.
I was seeing a demo a little bit before this, and it really did seem like it was just a very, very quick, just like scan. The biggest thing about this is that it is app-based, and you scan cards at the moment.
Yeah, so it's app-based, and all the characters and all the stories that you are telling, it actually lives inside in the cloud.
Yeah.
So that way, you never have to lose your character sheet. You never have to lose track of where your story is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. The app doesn't replace the tabletop for us.
Yeah.
Right. Very similar to how, you have app-based character sheets.
Yeah.
In other games.
Exactly.
The difference is that all of our content also lives inside of our app. So that makes it really easy for us to say jump into any world.
Yeah.
So Weave is not just a fantasy playset or a fantasy setting.
Yeah.
This is actually a platform for a lot of worlds and settings to go into. Right now we have 4 that we've been playing with, which has been a lot of fun. We have our fantasy setting, Goblins Are Jerks.
Yeah.
We have Gloomies, which is our 80s kids adventure.
Yep.
As well, we also have Zorta, which is our cyberpunk, which takes place on on top of a living mountain in Venezuela. It's very crazy.
I mean, that sounds really cool.
Right? Oh, it's fantastic. Then we got our classic kind of 1950s Buck Rogers Solar Age sci-fi, and it plays a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy. And I think that's what's really unique about it is that each one of these settings has their own unique feel, but at the same time, you're still playing with the same rule set.
Yeah.
So that means as opposed to having to release a separate app for every single thing that we want to do, we can now have all the content go and flow through a single application that still lets you create a character in 3 to 5 minutes, that still lets you play in the first 10.
I mean, that sounds really cool. And the cards themselves are gorgeous. So, they're these tarot style cards. We'll get some close-ups later on. And you have tech in the app that pretty much scans these cards.
Yeah.
And depending on whether or not you're playing as the player or the GM, pretty much, they give you different options.
Yep.
And that is how you build your backstory, pretty much, right? And when you're a player. And it's also how you choose the setting within the story and the boss and things like that, correct?
Yes.
So you've got all these things. How many choices do you have? Do you have I've seen that there's a lot per card because each card means something else depending on which thing it is. Do you have even a number of just how many different things that you could do in this?
Well, we can create over 1.6 million characters per playset. The average,
That is a lot of characters.
I would love to see the collisions, right? Yeah, it's very rare you're going to have an exact same character.
Yeah.
And again, that is per playset. The numbers are going to get more wackier than this.
Yeah.
Because each card, each story card that we have, has a theme attached to it right now. It only has about one theme for you to select. That theme is an episode of a game that you would want to play, which is around 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes when a game's really going, about 3 hours. Which means that you're looking at least 66 hours of playthrough per playset, and we're giving you 4 of those for free. So 4 times 66. And when you get even crazier into that, is the idea that we're going to actually have multiple playsets that share the same universe. Meaning you can create a character in one playset and then have them jump through different parts.
That's fun.
Yeah. So it's kind of like our MCU crossover event. Which means that as you level your character up, you can sometimes get more backstories and talents and flaws. Because you're jumping from playset to playset, you're now looking at trillions of characters.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we were talking about characters, flaws, and things like that. Could you tell me a little bit about what is it that you choose during character creation? Like when you're scanning these different things, what are the parts of the character?
Well, there's 2 different ways to do character creation, really. It all depends upon whether or not you want to play a one-shot, just one evening, sitting down with your friends, or if you actually want to grow your character and see them kind of get more multi-dimensional as time goes on. Either way, though, the process is simple. There's really only 4 selections that you have to do for a character. You choose your backstories, which actually gives you bonuses to, either strength or intelligence or charisma or agility. And then you have your talents, which have specific mechanics. So at that point, that's where your wizard, fireballs would come in. That's where your sweet hacking skills would come in. And flaws, which are what your character, has for both the storyteller to play into, but also to give your character a little bit more flavor. And then of course there's assets. Assets aren't just items. You could say I have a skateboard, right? Assets could also be a pet sidekick monster, like a Pokemon basically. And that can actually have its own character sheet.
See, I've always wanted a system where the sidekick character, the familiars or anything like that, have an easy to use way of having character sheet and things like that, which I think is amazing that the system does, because that is always a problem whenever you're playing some of these other role-playing systems. And it's just you can have a character sheet for your familiar. It's the same length as your own character sheet, and that is also 2 pages long. So you got to memorize both of them now, level them both up, and do all that kind of stuff.
And the other part about a character sheet, a traditional character sheet, is that they're very static. Which means you're presented all the information at once. And when you're having to read that through, that means you're going to have to process that information in a way that, by having it all come at once, it's going to take a lot longer for you to kind of slowly ease into it. The way that we take the app approach allows us to present the character sheet in a far more dynamic and fluid way. So that way you can see the information that only matters to you at the time, and you can quickly and easily consume it.
Oh, that's awesome. And then the system itself is based on rolling dice.
Yes.
These are D6s, but with symbols on them.
Yep, they're all symbolic based or custom dice. And the intention from that is, again, when you're creating a system that really has streamlined mechanics. So not saying necessarily that, these are rules light or, there's not really rules here. No, there actually are. There's quite a bit of stuff that we can do design-wise inside of the system. It's just we took the challenge of the complexity of that system and we put it on us, the designers, to solve it, so you didn't have to do that extra homework. So the dice are a great example of that. The dice are very simple. They have all of our suits on it. So if you have, let's say, stones, for instance, that's a good strength test. So if you have 3 dice to start out with, to maybe say, kick down a door. You would take your 3 dice. You might gain an extra die from your backstory that gives you a bonus to stones, and then you roll, and then right off the bat you can see that we have, a couple of symbols that don't match.
Yep.
But we do have a success because we have our weave symbol.
Yep.
This acts as a universal success, and additionally, you get to roll it again. I got it twice. I got
3 times.
Oh man. We got it.
Right.
But at that point, you can see, like, if you're looking for one symbol, one success, and I got 3 of them, it's a very easy way of understanding whether or not you succeeded or failed.
Yeah.
That still has the same dice math curve. Because of the exploding die that you saw, that's nonlinear math, which means that our dice curve is actually more similar to other role-playing systems. We're really darn close with it, dice math-wise.
Yeah.
So we actually have dice, a rolling dice system that has quite a bit of advantage to it. The difference, however, is that it doesn't have to, accumulate. You're not +2 to this, +2 to this, and -2 to that.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love min-maxing.
Yeah, of course.
It's amazing, right? But for people who want to learn how to play, you want to get them comfortable and into the story more than into the friction of learning mechanics.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. And then I was hearing about this DM screen here. This is tech-enabled.
It is.
So what exactly does that mean?
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I really can't. And
no worries. So that's a tease for all of you guys out there.
Well, I do want to talk a little bit about it. So that GM screen is really special.
Yeah.
That has a lot of really good technology enabled inside of it, and a lot of amazing features for Weave in 2020 are going to be a part of that screen.
Okay.
And we're pre-releasing it really here at PAX Unplugged, because this is our 3rd year at PAX Unplugged, and it's the 3rd PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
And every year we do something very, very special for PAX Unplugged because we really love this convention.
Yeah.
And we are releasing this early. And as people are grabbing the screens, the features will be coming out. They'll be rolling out to those people first.
Yeah.
So they're going to be seeing features that are slowly unfolding over the course of 2020 that are tied in with our Weave Plus and our Weave free-to-play solutions, which is a good segue to talk about.
I was about to say, let's see what's coming up in 2020, because based on what I've heard so far, it's got some good stuff.
It's pretty crazy. It's bonkers. Yeah. No. So Weave Plus is our digital subscription service.
Yeah.
It's our Netflix for RPGs. And the intention behind that is there are 3 main components that really make Weave Plus set it aside, above what other subscription services can do, especially with what you can do with a subscription service for a role-playing game.
Yeah.
The first one is, of course, content. Content is the lifeblood, really, of any system.
Yeah.
And, oh man, we have a lot of content that we're going to be putting out for this. Over the next couple of years, we're looking at just a very consistent stream of content and new play sets, new worlds, experiences, not just from us, but from other content creators, and also from some very special IP licenses from stuff that you absolutely know. You've seen it.
Well, whatever that is, I'm looking forward to that.
It's not just one thing, and I think that's the crazy part about it. Is that this is a really ever-changing, always growing library that we have been really planning for over the course of 2019.
Yeah.
And for 2020, I think it's going to be fantastic. The second thing about Weave Plus is actually the customization. So being able to actually add your own items and characters and locations into your story as a storyteller, I think that is going to be fantastic. The ability that you can track that information, so you can add your own little special twist to the world. I think that's what storytellers and game masters, and that's what we do. Right? So having that information tracked inside of the application, I'm really excited to be able to pull that off.
It'll be nice to be able to like say, yeah, there's this NPC and that they can bring him back. All right, well, there's the card.
Exactly. Well, especially because when we have play sets that are non-static, as time goes on, we're going to have play sets that have events, like worldwide events happen to that play set.
Oh, damn.
That will forever change that play set, right?
Oh, that's so cool.
Being able to react to that as a storyteller, you're going to need to have those extra storyteller tools.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're providing in Weave Plus. And then the third thing is going to be community. We have a really great community at inside of Discord.
Yeah.
Discord isn't just how we talk to our community. It's actually how we talk to ourselves. We don't use Slack.
Yeah.
We use Discord. So when we're communicating about what we're doing, how our projects are going and what our timeline is looking like, it's also the same tool that we have when we talk to our community itself. And that's really helped us out understand exactly what it is that our community is looking for. And that's been a lot, Weave Plus has been a lot of that answer, answering these larger questions that they've had. And in addition to that, we want our community to grow and to be far more empowered, with the things that they can do to actually create their own teams and groups of people.
Yeah.
So things like looking for group, being able to actually say, hey, I'm available to play during these times.
Yeah.
Being able to actually create a group and have that group have scheduled times, and be able to get a notification for, hey, whoa, tomorrow, be ready at 7 p.m. The things that people have always wanted to try and solve and get reminders for. We're gonna help that out a little bit. And I'm really, really grateful for our Discord community. I'm really grateful that we have such a great group of people who are willing to provide their feedback and hang out with us and share our own excitement and and celebrate with us as we're making these things. And because of that, I really want to make sure that our community feature set that we have inside of Weave Plus really drives home the fact that we are listening with our to our fans, but in addition to that, we are making sure that they have what they need, right? So that way they feel like they're just as much a part of it. And in order for us to do that, in order for us to especially have a growth of community to allow for those kind of features, we're going to, and this is Weave Plus, and all of this is going to be coming around Q1 2020 is when it starts. We're going to have Weave go completely digital and free to play. Okay. So that means those physical cards and the physical dice, those are going to be digital. They're going to have digital counterparts inside the app when you download it. So that means these 4 free play sets. That's us saying, look, download Weave. If you've never played a role-playing game, give it a shot. And we're going to give you the dice. We're going to give you the cards. We're going to give you the community, that asks the questions for, and you're going to learn how to play a role-playing game. And if you love it, and if you're really excited to play more, that's why we have Weave Plus. And if you're a storyteller and you want to have more control and less randomness, because Weave has a lot of good random qualities to it, which is a lot of fun. But if you want to have more control over that, that's where the physical cards come into play. Those physical cards will let you choose which cards you want to scan, so you have way more control over your story.
That's really cool. All right, well, thank you very much for telling us about Weave. I'm going to leave off with one of the questions that we asked all of our interviewees.
Sure.
What's your favorite donut?
Bacon.
There we go. Bacon donut. So much favorite that it's even tattooed.
Absolutely.
That is impressive.
Well, I was ready for you.
Yeah, you were ready. You knew this was coming. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much.
And everyone, check out Weave. It's going free to play Q1 2020. And if you want to get it beforehand, it's still available. So definitely check it out when it comes up. And stay tuned to more coverage here at Dragon's Demize, PAX Unplugged. and hopefully some more cool stuff about Weave in the future. All right, bye everyone.